Right now, someone is making money. Not from something you bought, not from a service you paid for, not from a product you chose, from the simple fact that your eyes are moving across a screen, from the 3 seconds you spent watching a video before scrolling past, from the half second your thumb paused above a headline, from the quiet, invisible, unremarkable act of paying attention. You are not the customer. You are the product. And your attention, the most finite, non-renewable resource you possess, is the commodity being bought and sold in a market you never knew existed. Welcome to the attention economy, the largest, most sophisticated, and most invisible marketplace in human history. A market worth over $600 billion annually. A market with no storefront, no receipt, no transaction you can point to. A market that operates entirely inside the daily rhythm of your life. In the moments between tasks, in the quiet before sleep, in the reflexive reach for your phone that you barely even notice anymore. And like every economy in history, it has winners and losers. The question worth asking, the one almost nobody asks, is which side of that transaction you are actually on. To understand the attention economy, you need to understand how it was built. And who built it? In 2004, a Harvard student named Mark Zuckerberg launched a platform designed to connect people. In 2006, Twitter launched. In 2010, Instagram launched. In 2011, Snapchat. In 2016, TikTok in its current form. Each platform began with a simple premise: connect people, share content, build community. Each platform, within a few years, discovered the same inconvenient truth. Connection alone does not generate revenue. Engagement does. And engagement means one thing above all else: time spent on the platform. So one by one, each platform made the same pivot. They stopped optimizing for connection. They started optimizing for time. And to maximize time, they needed to understand, at a level of precision no human analyst could achieve, exactly what made each individual user stay. This is the moment the attention economy was truly born. Not when the platforms launched, when they pivoted from connection to capture. The foundational text of the attention economy is a 1971 paper by Nobel Prize-winning economist Herbert Simon. Writing decades before smartphones existed, Simon identified what he called the poverty of attention, the idea that in an information-rich world, the one thing that becomes genuinely scarce is not information, but the human capacity to attend to it. In plain English, when everything is competing for your focus itself becomes the scarce resource. And scarce resources in any economy become valuable. And valuable resources get bought and sold. What Simon could not have predicted was the precise mechanism by which attention would be harvested. That mechanism is surveillance capitalism, a term coined by Harvard Business School professor Shoshana Zuboff in her landmark 2019 book, The Age of Surveillance Capitalism. Zuboff's argument is elegant and devastating. The raw material of the new economy is not oil, not steel, not data in the abstract. It is behavioral data, the continuous granular record of your attention patterns, your emotional responses, your decision-making micro-moments. Every click, every pause, every scroll, every search is a data point. And those data points in aggregate allow technology companies to do something unprecedented in human history: predict your future behavior with startling accuracy, and then sell that prediction to anyone willing to pay. This is the hidden economy, not the exchange of money for goods, the exchange of your behavioral future for someone else's commercial agenda. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you spend 45 seconds watching a video about anxiety management. You do not like it. You do not share it. You simply watch 45 seconds and scroll on. To you, that interaction is meaningless, forgotten before you reach the next post. To the platform, it is a data point, logged, time-stamped, cross-referenced with your age, location, device, time of day, recent search history, and the behavioral profiles of the 40 million other users who paused on similar content. It feeds into a model that updates its prediction of your psychological state, your current vulnerability, and the type of content most likely to keep you engaged for the next 30 minutes. That model is then made available, not sold directly, but operationalized. To advertisers who want to reach people in your exact psychological state at your exact moment of vulnerability. A pharmaceutical company, an insurance provider, a political campaign, a self-help course, each of them paying for access to the version of you that exists right now, in this moment, on this device. This is not a hypothetical. Researcher Tim Hwang, in his 2020 book Subprime Attention Crisis, compared the attention economy to the subprime mortgage market of 2008. A vast financial system built on assets of increasingly questionable value, sold with enormous confidence, understood by almost no one participating in it. The asset in 2008 was mortgage-backed securities. The asset now is you. Now here is the part that most people miss entirely. The attention economy does not just consume your time. It actively degrades the very resource it is consuming. Economist Tyler Cowen at George Mason University has written about what he calls a crisis of concentration, the progressive difficulty of sustained intellectual engagement in a world designed to interrupt it. His argument is not simply that people are distracted. It is that the market for distraction has become so efficient, so personalized, so frictionless, that the cognitive capacity for depth, the ability to read long-form text, to follow a complex argument, to sit with an idea long enough to actually understand it, is being systematically eroded. Think about that for a moment. The economy that profits from your attention is simultaneously making your attention worth less. The more fractured your focus, the more dependent you become on the short-form, high-stimulation content the platform provides. The more dependent you become, the more time you spend on the platform. The more time you spend, the more behavioral data is harvested. The more data is harvested, the more precisely you can be targeted. The more precisely you are targeted, the harder it becomes to look away. This is not a side effect. This is the business model. Imagine two companies operating in the same city. The first company sells a product that makes you stronger, healthier, and more capable every time you use it. Its business model depends on your growth. The second company sells a product that, through repeated use, gradually makes you more dependent, more distracted, and more susceptible to its influence. Its business model depends on your weakness. Which company do you think has invested more in understanding human psychology? Which company has spent more on research into persuasion, habit formation, and behavioral manipulation? Which company has hired more neuroscientists, behavioral economists, and former casino designers? The answer, if you've been paying attention, is obvious. Former Google design ethicist Tristan has described the smartphone as a slot machine in your pocket. Every app notification, every pull to refresh, every infinite scroll is a feature, deliberately engineered, rigorously tested, continuously optimized, not for your benefit, but for your capture. The engineers who built these features know exactly what they are doing. In 2018, early Facebook investor Roger McNamee published Zucked, documenting the internal culture of a company that understood, at the highest levels, that its product was psychologically manipulative and chose revenue over reform. But here is the counterintuitive truth that changes everything. The attention economy has one fundamental vulnerability. It only works on people who do not know it exists. The moment you understand the architecture, the moment you see the slot machine for what it is, the moment you recognize the pull to refresh as a deliberately engineered behavioral trigger, the entire system loses a significant portion of its power over you. Not all of its power. The neurological hooks are real, and awareness alone does not dissolve them. But awareness changes the relationship. It moves you from participant to observer, from product to agent. Researcher B.J. Fogg at Stanford University, who literally wrote the foundational textbook on persuasive technology, the same textbook used by Silicon Valley engineers to design the systems you use every day, has argued that the antidote to persuasive technology is not abstinence. It is design literacy. Understanding how the system works at a mechanical level is the single most powerful protective factor against its influence. In plain English, you cannot opt out of the attention economy entirely, but you can stop being its most profitable customer. The divide forming in the world right now is not between those who use technology and those who do not. Everyone uses it. The divide is between those who use it with understanding, who know what is being extracted, who it is being sold to, and what it is costing them. And those who remain inside the system, invisible to themselves, generating behavioral data for someone else's balance sheet. This is the new economic literacy. Not knowing how interest rates work. Not knowing how to read a financial statement. Knowing what your attention is worth. Who is buying it, how it is being used, and whether the transaction is one you would agree to if you understood its terms. Organizations like Pinnacle AI Solutions exist at exactly this frontier, helping individuals and businesses develop the strategic clarity to navigate an economy built on capturing human attention rather than being captured by it. In a world where your focus is a traded commodity, the most powerful position you can occupy is the one where you decide, consciously, deliberately, where your attention goes. Because right now that decision is being made for you. Every second you spend without that understanding is a second of value flowing out of your life and into someone else's revenue model. Not because you chose it, because you did not know there was a choice. Right now someone is making money. From your eyes on a screen, from your thumb above a headline, from the quiet, invisible, unremarkable act of paying attention. The question is no longer whether that is happening. The science is unambiguous. The economics are documented. The business model is public record. The only question left, the one that actually matters, is whether you are paying attention to the right thing.